Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Three Times the N News Network. This is your favorite host, Joey Neb from New Hampshire. Today we have two special guests that became anchormen here on the Nebuchadnezzar Network. Welcome for becoming the news crew here for Three Times N News Network. We have Steve from San Francisco. We have Anthony from New York City. And soon we will be having Rob from Texas. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the date is August 13, 2022 on Saturday. It's 11:47 p.m. in Kyiv, Ukraine. We're going to be talking about various topics in politics. Stay tuned. Any comments or questions, reach out to us. We are on Twitter. We are on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. You can contact me. You can find me. Joey Neb on Twitter, Joey Neb on Facebook as well. You can send me a comment you like on YouTube. You can hit me up through email, which is joeajr0219@gmail.com, or you can meet us on Twitch on the Three Times N Nebuchadnezzar News Network on twitchtv.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the show on the road. Welcome and watching the Three Times N Nebuchadnezzar News Network. So, how's everyone doing today?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we have Taipei City in Taiwan live feed cam and various cams of Ukraine. We are facing some technical difficulties. The Three Times N News Network team is trying to fix this. We are sorry for any inconvenience we may have caused.
How's it going?
Hi. Thank you so much. It,
Thank you.
it is my pleasure. Sorry. Okay, that was pretty much emphasizing on part one is that that they are pushing the defeat idea is to get people to eat bugs. They want people to wean away from animal-based products and food and into a plant-based source that would transition people into bugs. Now, what I was saying was, in the first part of our conversation was that the bugs are not for the elites. The bugs are for us because people in power are not going to be eating cockroaches and sandworms or crickets. They're going to be eating beef, chicken, steak, fish. Now, the bugs are for the common folk, the regular average folks. So it's not about health, it's about control. And just like what the pandemic was and what COVID was, and just like anything else, it's all about control. More for them, less for everyone else. So that's why this whole idea of being, it's not really about health. And being vegan doesn't help as far as being healthy. And they promote veganism as a health lifestyle, and it's not. And it is a unhealthy lifestyle because you will be vitamin deficient on certain vitamins. There's certain vitamins that, and there's certain vitamins and certain types of nutrients you can only get from animal-based products. Yes, there are some health stuff when it comes to eating vegetables. That is true, but vegetables, you cannot completely live off of a vegetable plant-based diet only. No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host Joey Neb. What Anthony from New York City is saying that the government is trying to control us by having us to eat certain type of bugs, saying that it's more nutritious, which honestly, to me, I wouldn't dare to eat a cockroach because that is not nutritious at all. They're very disgusting, um, unhealthy lifestyle. And I know for sure that Steve from San Francisco would like to have a chocolate covered spider. But besides all that, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony was saying that the government is trying to control us by eating these certain bugs to save money, um, so that way they can use less natural food, like certain meats that we eat daily, like steak and ham, etc. So we can save on the cost of food because we're going through a very bad inflation. Continue on, ladies and gentlemen.
My sources is if you look at any type of nutrition-based website, and it tells you the list of vitamins that the body needs versus the sources of those foods that those vitamins come from. And if you look at stuff like omega-3 oils, that's a fish. Omega-3 oils come from fish-based or seafood types of food.
Ladies and gentlemen, so everyone knows you can check all this out on google.com. You can search it as well. All the source that we're talking about and information is all based on true facts and events from other news stations as well. And we're covering it here on the Three Times That News Network. Stay tuned and listen to more information as Anthony from New York City explains everything else. Thank you.
Or like certain types of like vitamin D. Vitamin D is also another plant-based product that comes from like eggs. It comes from fish. It comes from you could get it from like chicken and all that stuff. So everyone has a phone in their pocket, so they can more than welcome to look up the different vitamins that your body needs and where is the source of food where those products come from. And if you look through a list of different types of like proteins and different types of vitamins and nutrients, you can see that these vitamins like come from animal-based products like vitamin D. You can also get vitamin D from liver. And if you relate this to COVID, if you have a high immune system, because vitamin D also helps with your immune system, and you can look up on your phone, vitamin D will increase your immune system, which will naturally battle against certain types of illnesses. You get vitamin D from the sun if you can live in a warm climate and you have and you have access to the natural sunlight too.
That is correct, Anthony. You can get vitamin D easily by just standing outside in the sun, which helps contain certain viruses. You can have it, like you said, through liver. You can also have vitamin D through milk. And we don't need to eat bugs to get these certain type of vitamins. I mean, we can easily get some vitamins at a pharmacy, but that's not as efficient fully as eating it naturally, straight from the source as well. Um, Also, Anthony's going to explain more about what's more to come about the situation that's occurring around the world and here in the United States. We are very sorry. We're having some technical difficulties. Stay tuned while the Three Times That News Network is trying to fix the situation. Thank you. That is a dog barking at the moment. That's in the background in Kiev, Ukraine. Someone's live streaming things in Ukraine, as you see in the other cams here. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you can support my friend Mohamed. He lives in Kiev, Ukraine. You can get in touch with him as well on Twitter and TwitchTV.com. You can also look for Saint Dasha as well. And you can, if you wanted to send him some donation, you can. He has his website as well. Just look for Mamet. You easily search that through google.com. Thank you. But the better source is for to donate. You can donate through Red Cross. You can donate very easily to help and support the needs um, for the people in Ukraine as they're going through this very bad tragedy of war in their country. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. So how about it, Steve? Chocolate covered spider, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to get some connection going on here. Please bear with us. We're having a sound issue. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can catch Steve from San Francisco and his videos all on YouTube. Check out Steve from San Fran. You can also hit him up as well. He explains it in the video of his email. If you want to contact your favorite host, Joey Neb, I will be glad to give you that information. Um, please reach out, give us a message, have any questions that you'd like us to answer. We'll be gladly to answer them. And stay tuned and continue watching the Three Times That News Network. And thank you for your support. And hope to hear from you soon.
Wow. I I can't believe she said this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on right now here is that let's go back in the past a bit. Michelle Obama has literally called us Americans fat, and she has simply has really told everyone that we're obese. She has saying that she has to get all the sugar stuff and out of schools. People need to start losing weight. And even today it goes on, calling us Americans fat, lazy. Um, Not all of this is true. There are hardworking American people. There's also, um, if you want to eat healthy, there's plenty of ways to eat healthy. You can go out to a gym and exercise. Two, you could become, and you can eat vegetables, but you could also eat your meat as well and still lose weight. Just get off the carbs. So there's plenty of ways that you can try to eat healthy. Working out, drinking a lot of water is important. It's because 80% of our body is made of water. So, unfortunately, this has been occurring before Michelle Obama time, when she was the first lady. I am not going to badge her here and say that she's a bad woman. What I'm trying to say is that her political views calling us Americans fat was uncalled for. And, and it's not right either. People can have a thyroid issue and they have no choices to be oversized. People. You know, there's a lot of medical reasons that could be possible why they're heavy, but the other reasons is that because, you know, they have low self-esteem or no confidence to lose weight, and they need, it could be a mentality issue. You know, there could be a lot of scientific reasons behind the science of people being overweight. So, it, so as I can see, Steve from San Fran, you had some words to say about what she said, and have at it, bro.
It's about Americans. It's awful. Um, you look now. You go to the stores now. They said this 15 years ago that we were overweight Americans. They even said it back in the 80s. I remember going to the stores 15 years ago and going to stores now. I noticed the food now, everything's smaller. You're paying almost the same price or even more, but like the Zona pizza, it's smaller than it was 15 years ago. Or like a gallon of milk now, the prices are higher. Um, Now they're taxing, some places are even taxing candy. They call it a sin tax. Um,
That is
yeah,
ridiculous.
I've heard about it before, but I don't know if they call it that. I heard about it before. Um, you notice everything, all the food now is smaller, everything, and they're jacking up the prices. You used to get a cart full of food for less than $100. Now the same cart of food now costs you 3 times as much now. It's crazy. They want us to go to vegan. They want us to stop eating meat. They, and I heard something else. Um, uh, they, there's a YouTube channel. This is very disgusting. They, I don't even know if I should say it.
Go ahead and say it.
I heard them talking about, I hate to say cannibalism. I'm against. Yes. Yep.
Well, cannibalism is very messed up. Um, these vegetarian liberals um, are trying to make eating habits supposedly more healthy, which they are in some sense, but when it comes down to eating foods that you don't want to eat, it's not really eating healthy mentality. But hearing about cannibalism, that is ridiculous. And yes, it goes on. It's because people were starting to drug addicts, I should say, were starting to start using bat bat salts, snorting that stuff, and it supposedly caused them to hallucinate and may have them do cannibalism. I heard this story go on for a while in Florida. I heard it all the time. It was happening in Florida, and yes, it is very disgusting, Steve. Can you go ahead and explain some more? And I appreciate your time, brother.
Um. There's. I hear these other YouTube channels, but I'm not going to mention any of their names.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Uh,
Don't mention no names.
no, no. It seems like gonna try to weed us into not eating the good stuff and going to the bad stuff. Like what Anthony was saying, all the good food will go to the elites, the rich people, and it's probably gonna be within the next few years the way it's going. Yeah. I don't even know.
I don't know
Oh,
that one
man.
either.
No.
Why not?
Yeah. You're gonna see you're gonna see less livestock. The farmers are gonna suffer. They're already suffering now. Food shortages. So how do I say? They're shortening the food and everything. There's not going to be that much food. The elites are going to hoard all the food, keep it in one places for them, and have us have scraps. What's your take on it, Anthony?
Well, you mentioned a couple of different things, so I'm gonna have to kind of split the topics because even though they're all kind of intertwined, they're all separate issues. As far okay, great. Okay, as far as the food shortages, that's intentional. Okay, that's part of the inflation and the supply chain crisis that's happened. So so when you have an inflation and a supply chain problem, there is a shortage on supply on goods available. So that's why you see a lot of shortages in the stores. That's our current administrative and in Washington and how they're poorly running things. As far as the farmers, you could check this out. You can look up. There's several different articles. They're paying farmers to not farm, and a lot of people don't know that. You can go on Google. You could go on Google, and there's many different articles about it. Everybody could type farmers not getting paid to farm, and there is a problem with farmers because the government is paying farmers to not farm, and that is going to cause a major food shortage on certain products, on animal-based products. And when you have a short supply and a high demand, prices will go up. And in my personal opinion on that, I believe they're doing that intentionally. Because they know that they will have a population of people that's not going to comply, despite on whatever propaganda is being pushed on the veganism and the bugs. You're going to have a group of people that's just not going to do it. So they're going to force you to do it. And how they're going to force people to do it is they're going to make it less available, and they're going to make it so difficult and so unaffordable for you to buy basic types of food, where like certain foods will just not be available. It's just not going to be on the shelf. And then you're going to have it that if it is available, it's so expensive that you can't afford to buy it. So they're trying to force people into a more cheaper alternative, and they're going to make it that like, well, you know what, you can't afford to have a chicken, you can't afford to have steak, you can't afford to eat salmon.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is ridiculous. The government is paying farmers not to farm so they can purposely have a supply line issue here in America. That is ridiculous. Again, you can check all those resources out. People, right now, if you're watching, pull out your phone. That's why Anthony was saying from New York City that you can search this yourself. Farmers are getting paid not to farm, and that's causing us to have shortages. By all means, true facts. Search it on Google if you don't believe us, or contact us, and we will be glad to answer any questions. And continue on, Anthony from New York, and thank you for your resources.
But you could afford, to eat bugs. So, it's a way to force the population of people to go into a different direction. Yeah. Well, they could give all the assistance all they want because the philosophy is to print more money, and the whole entire thing with causing inflation is that the more money you print, the more inflation you create. That means that prices will have to go up. So it depends on who is the current administrative in office. So if you have a strong democratic people in power, their philosophy is we need more money, so we need to print more money.
Anthony, I'm going to stop you right there, just for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand that it also depends on who you vote for. If you vote for the bad politician, you're going to have bad politics within your economy. Just like the example we see right now going on, we voted for Biden, and now that we have Biden, look what's happening. We had high gas prices, inflation, supply line issues, food shortages, everything is going up. Um, and but yet they don't want to pay the minimum wage to go everything to go up to a better living wage, but they want the prices to go up. I mean, right now, people in San Francisco and California get 7.25 an hour, and then all of a sudden, you know, that's the same price as of a gallon of gas, or even more. You know, how are you supposed to live if you work 8 hours and you're doing 7.25, and but yet you got to put 8 gallons of gas? There's your whole paycheck. So, but before we get into that, Anthony, continue explain what you were saying. I had to say that before I forgot, and everyone stay tuned for more informational stuff here on the Nebuchadnezzar News Network.
Now, when you print more money, that causes inflation, and when it comes to inflation, if you have more money, and the goods or services will have to cost more because they have to raise up the prices in order to match that. So then, like, they could come and they could give all the welfare in the world, but then what ends up happening is that the prices of the goods have to go up because there's less goods available. You have all this money. You have all this money in the whole entire economy given to people, but then there's a less amount of goods available. So prices will have to go up. So then, like, they could give out more welfare, and they could give out, a subsidized living to everybody. But guess what? The cost of living will be far higher than what's being given to you, and that's from the cost of just pretty much inflation happening. So then it's intentional because it's intentional that they're causing the prices to go up because they're trying to get people to shoot into a certain type of direction. As far as eating, as far as lifestyle, it's all about control. They know that people are not going to want to do it on their own. So we're going to have to force them. We're going to have to make you poor. We're going to have to make you struggle. And we're going to have to get you to do what we want you to do by force because you won't have the money to do it. So I don't know if that answers your question.
It sure does, Anthony, and we thank you very much here on the Three Times.
Oh yeah. You mentioned about the farmers. You mentioned about about as far as the food packages. what they're doing is that's another way to get prices to go up. So to avoid people from seeing the price increase, what they're doing is that with the food manufacturers, they're making the packages smaller but still charging the same price. So then people don't realize that you're getting less for your money. Or what they'll do is that they'll keep the box size or the package the same, but then when you open up the box, there's less filled. It's not as filled up. So then you think that you're paying for more, but you're paying the same. You know, like you would think that like you're getting a bargain, but then like the thing is that when you open up like, for example, like a bag of chips. When I was younger, the bag of chips used to be all the way to the top. But then like when you open up that bag of chips, it's like halfway filled now.
It's mostly air now.
Yeah, mostly air now. So then like that's a primary example. If you go to your
Ladies and gentlemen, just want to let you know we have 9 minutes and 54 seconds left. We're going to try to get all this time in as we can. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
local store, you buy a bag of chips. It's less full now than what it was several years ago.
That is crazy. Seriously. But it is true. You open up a bag of chips, none but air.
Do you want to?
Even McDonald's hamburgers got thinner out through the years.
Let Steve talk. Do we still have some time left over?
Sure, absolutely, Anthony.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Well, like I was saying, McDonald's, their burgers got thinner. I heard companies been cutting off edges on certain things, on certain meats to save meat, to make more meat. But in reality, you're getting less meat and higher prices. I mean, cereal, I tell you what though, cereal hasn't went through that yet, but it's time to come. You're gonna get cereal and it's gonna be a half a
All
box.
right. Everything like I was saying earlier, prices going up, gas is going up, food's going up, everything. Even keeping your car, insurance, people's insurance going up, houses, rents going up. Yeah, Biden's not doing anything about it. Things are still going up, and I predicted if he became president, things were going to be going up. I predicted inflation. I talked about that 2 years ago. I knew it was going to happen, and it's awful. People can't afford anything anymore. They can't afford to go out to eat or take their family to a restaurant. And if you get a bill for a restaurant, it used to cost you $30. Now you're paying $150 to take your family out to eat on Saturday night. You can't afford anything. Can't afford to live, or you can't afford to put gas in your car. It's either to feed my kids or put gas in the car for work. It's come to that point, or pay rent or food for the kids. It's crazy. What's your take on it, Anthony?
Well, like my take on it with inflation, and inflation is a very huge topic. Inflation did not start with Joe Biden. He did make it worse, but it didn't start with him. Okay, it started with President Nixon. Inflation started, and you can look this up on Google, when President Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. Okay. And so our money, U.S. currency was backed up by gold and silver, meaning that back in the old days, you can exchange your money and go to a bank and go to a bank and exchange it for actual gold and silver at one point, because it was actually worth X amount based on like how much dollars, how many ounces.
Wow.
President Nixon took the dollar of the gold standard, and what that means, to make a long story short, because it's a very long topic, is that our money is not being backed up by anything, by any gold or any silver. So it's a what it is that it's an IOU. It's a promise that we will pay you back, and that's been going on for a long time. So when that has happened, that caused inflation to rise up, because what they did was, because money was backed up by gold and silver, you was not allowed to print out so much money, because money currency has to be equivalent to the amount of gold and silver that was available. And by President Nixon being allowed to take the dollar off the gold standard, the government was allowed to print endless amount of money that's not being backed up by anything.
Wow.
So, exactly. So it's a Ponzi scheme, pretty much. So so what's going to happen is, I personally think that America is bankrupt. America is economically bankrupt. There's no way that they're able to pay that money back. And there's a website. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's called the United States Debt website, and it shows how much money the U.S. owes in money, and it shows the inflation numbers going up. And what that is that they keep printing money to compensate for what they owe. But the problem is that you can't print your way out of this, because what happened is, because the money's not being backed up by anything of value, and when you exchange money with other people, will eventually catch on and say, wait a minute, what is this money worth? And when it's not being backed up by anything, and they realize that it's just an empty promise, you're going to have economic problems. And that's why I think the whole problems with oil and Russia. Now you got China with Taiwan. Other countries are starting to wake up to the fact that U.S. currency is not being backed up by anything. It's just a promise. I promise that this will be of value. And Joe Biden just made it worse, because what he's doing is that he's just printing. He's just got that printing machine just going nonstop. And like he's trying to make it look like that he is helping the economy by just pushing so much money into the system. But the more you print, the more worse it gets, because it's not going to be backed up by anything. And when other countries realize that, well, that like he's got a printing press going on a base of all these federal notes that's not being worth by anything. What is the US dollar worth? And eventually, the hopefully we won't have to live through it in our lifetime, but eventually America will have to default on the money it owes. And when it defaults on the money it owes, that's when the country will go bankrupt. And American dollars will, at some point, will not be worth, much of anything, and they will have to come up with a different currency. And that's why they're trying to go into a more electronic forms of payment, because they're trying to get people into a digital currency. That's when this whole cryptocurrency and all this stuff came out, because they're trying to win people out of the US dollars.
Like Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly, because they want people in a digital currency. That's very bad, in my personal opinion. Anything that's digital is traceable. And yes, Bitcoin has a secure system, but eventually the government's gonna crack down on that, and they're gonna find a way to monitor how much money you have in your currency wallet. And if you look at Canada, um, when the protesters protested in Canada, what did they do in Canada? They shut down. They they shut down people's bank accounts.
Anthony, not to interrupt you, we have 1 minute left, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony, if you do not finish your time, we will have a part three of Steve from San Fran, Anthony from NYC, and Joey Neb from New Hampshire. Um, Taiwan and Ukraine live cams, part three coming up in just 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned and thank you for watching the Three Times N News Network.
Okay. Um, and my final conclusion is the fact that as we go into a electronic form of payment, it will be monitored and it will be controlled. So just like protesters in Canada, they will control how much money you have in your wallet. So the whole inflation is going to go into that people will have to have another alternative currency that will be electronic. And really, we're going into a more dangerous territory because you're allowing people of the elite to control how much money you have. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the Three Times N News Network. This is your host and favorite host, Joey Neb, here at the Nebuchadnezzar News Network. And stay tuned for part three. It will be up and running by tomorrow, um, August 29th, 2022. Once again, thank you for watching this live feed of what was going on here and the situations that we were facing here in America and throughout the world. And stay tuned and please click like, subscribe. Feel free to get in touch with us, contact us on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook and Twitter. Stay tuned to more news. Thank you and have a great day.